All right, ladies and gentlemen, David Costa, Renegade Aviator, back with you for another episode of Air Racing Past, Present, and Future. It's my attempt to kind of promote air racing because I don't race airplanes. So it's my way of air racing has been a big part of what I've enjoyed through the years. So this is my way to kind of stay in tune, stay in touch with you, and just have some fun. This week, I'm joined by a friend of mine who is also the director of operations for the Reno Air Racing Association and the Reno Air Show. And it's my buddy, Chris Johnson. Chris, how you doing, man?
Oh, not too bad. How's life treating you?
You know what? I can't complain, and if I did, nobody would care anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No, most people laugh at me when I do, so.
Very, very cool. Hey, well, Chris, as the director of operations, you've got a monumental task ahead of you with, I'm going to call the premier air show of the Reno area, the Reno Air Show, and the Reno Air races that will be forthcoming here. But do me a favor real quick and just kind of give me some background on your role and kind of some of the stuff you're looking forward to taking care of as we move into the air show season in October.
Oh, thanks. So, first about my role. People always ask me that, as you said, it's a monumental role, and they always say that you've got so much going on. And what I explain to people is that, it's a pretty big role, but I've got an outstanding team that works with me. The air races team, we've got professionals covering every department out there. And so when people ask me about my role, I like to reference an orchestra. And you have all these professional musicians out there making perfect music. And I'm just the conductor that stands up in the front and waves a little wand, So that's kind of what I am. I'm the key, or the central point and the coordinator. But all of our department heads are what make this happen. And so as far as getting ready for this air show, it's kind of funny because I've done a couple air shows now. As you know, Dave, you've been down there with us at the Aviation Roundup when we've done the air show with the Blue Angels and the Snowbirds. And so for us, as compared to putting on the air races, this is much easier. It's air racing, that's a big event. It's 9 days long, all said. And so it's a big event for us. It's busy. Whereas an air show, it's pulling the pieces together and making it happen. So the big thing that we're focusing on right now is right now I'm working on the air show operations manual, and which is just covering the do's and don'ts in the ramp. How we're all of the procedures that we'll take as far as ramp operations, pit operations, which we won't have pits now, but we'll have the hot box for the performers, and we'll have huge static display areas. So that's, it's going through and setting up the manual with the SOPs and the procedures so that when we get to the air show, we're not kind of shooting from the hip, if I may say. So that's what I'm doing right now. But
it's going to be a huge event, right? I mean, it is. I think it'll be the biggest air show Reno's ever seen, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And to clarify that, anyone who's out there saying, it's not going to be bigger than the air races, that's true. The air races and an air show are two very different animals. Before I was volunteering with the air races, back in 2018, I think it was 2017. And in fact, 2016, I was working with John Turno as the military. He was the military coordinator then. And I was volunteering with John, helping with the Blue Angels back then also. And people kept saying, well, aren't they your competition? Because, you've got the Aviation Roundup. And I used to tell them, no, we're not in competition. The two events work hand in hand together, and they are very different events. An air race and an air show are not the same.
You know what, I said this last week when I was talking to Pete Zaccanino. When we had the air races, everybody bitched and moaned, "Oh, we needed a better air show," and now that we're setting to come up with a brand new venue for air racing, everybody's going, "Well, it's just an air show." So we can't make everybody happy, but I guarantee you this: if you show up and get your tickets for this event in October 4th through the 6th, you are going to be absolutely thrilled. We've got a night air show, and then we've got, yeah, which is the first, right? It's the first ever, I think, in Nevada.
I'm not sure if it's the first in Nevada, but I don't remember any history in the last 20 years where we've had a night show. So,
well, I'm going to go with my statements because I've been known
go
to
for
pass
it.
bad. As a Marine, I've been known to pass some bad scoop along.
Well,
So
that's why they brought the Army guy in.
yeah, that's right. So I'm just going to come out and say, if you don't believe me, blame a Marine. But I'm going to say it is the first night air show ever in the state of Nevada. And
Go for it.
if somebody wants to prove me wrong, I will be publicly flogged at the event. I got no issue with that. But just a wonderful undertaking. We were out of the ICAST together, and you were smiling quietly, walking around, and we're sitting in there, and they start to announce all the air show events. And lo and behold, I hear Reno Air Show, and I go, "What? The Blues are coming to the Reno Air Show." I go, "What?" And then it's like the Snowbirds are coming to the Reno Air Show. I'm like, there's a Reno Air Show? And then the Viper demo team. So kudos to you. I said this to Bobby. I said it to Tony. I really think this is a great send-off for 60 years in Reno. Amazing.
Yes. And Dave, I have to add one in there because right after that, the announcement ceremony down there at it was right after they turned the lights back on and we were all going out to do our things. And Terry Marshall, he's our military coordinator for the air races.
Great guy.
Him and I walked over to the Snowbirds to make contact and say, okay. And the Snowbird commander came up to Terry Marshall right there and he said, "You, Terry, are the reason we are coming here." He said, "Your enthusiasm and how passionate you are about pursuing it and everything that you've done," he says, "you are the reason that we're coming here." So I have to call out and give Terry Marshall credit because he's really been working hard for both of these teams. So,
well, I'm finishing up my book, Shut Up, Show Up, Be Excellent. And, he's a great example of that, right? He's not a high profile guy.
No.
He smiles. He's energetic. He goes behind the scenes. He shows up. He asks the questions. And, that's what it takes is people to do stuff. I just got a question here from William. I think I can answer it, but I'll let you answer that one. Will the Blues be flying at the night air show?
No.
Yeah.
So
they never do night air shows.
Nope. No. So we've got a few performers that will be performing that actually have night pyro. And for example, oh boy, and now I'm on camera now, so I'm gonna run a blank on his name. But the glider, he's gonna do the night show. So it's pretty amazing. Manfred.
He's outstanding.
Yeah. So is it Manfred? I can't remember. But,
Tom Carlton. Is it Tom? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Bob. Yeah. So, but the glider is going to be doing he's going to be doing the pyro. And so, the Blues don't do pyro, but I know there's a couple other things that they're working on. We're also going to have the wall of fire out there. Some great ground pyro. The balloons are probably going to be doing a part of the night show. They're going to be doing a glow show. So it'll be neat. It'll be a fun show.
Yeah. It will be. And I think tickets are on sale right now. I'm trying to pull up that. I'm going to stop these comments here. My dad's from Poland. All right. Yeah. I fly a Polish jet. You had talked about, the night air show. That's unique. It's different. It's a great time to get there. It's a great time to see an event at nighttime. There's no heat of the day. It's all gone. And then Saturday and Sunday is just going to be just tons of good stuff. That's when the blues and the snowbirds and all that stuff are going to be there. It's going to be an outstanding event. But going into, I got another comment here. Somebody's asking just in general about talking back about air racing again. When you look back, you've been involved for kind of a long time in the air races. This Sally's asking this question. Was there a favorite time for you? We all have our favorite time at the air races, right? When you look back, was there kind of that unique part of, or that unique point that really stuck out for you?
There's I have one favorite story I'll tell about one of my favorite times at the air races, but there hasn't been a bad time at the air races. My family, we are now 4th generation of air race fans. My brothers, my dad, my nephew, we all volunteer at the air races. I'm a volunteer at the air races as the director of operations, and I've volunteered since really about 2013, 14. I started volunteering in any aspect I could get. I'm like, hey, I'll clean up garbage, I'll sweep floors, whatever I need to do. And
exactly.
So, but I would say my favorite experience out of the air races, and this says a lot about the September family, about the camaraderie, and how we have these race teams that are competing against each other, but there's so much camaraderie and the September family. That's the way to describe it. But anyways, I went and bought my Rare Bear team shirt because I was a diehard Rare Bear fan. And John Penny was flying the Bear at the time. And so I was out there with a friend and got this picture of Big Boss Man. If you remember Big Boss Man, it was an F6 Tiger Cat. And the F6 coming around, he was coming around Pylon 9 and got this awesome photo of it. So we went over to Mike Brown's pit so that he could autograph this photo of Big Boss Man for her. And Mike Brown was the owner and flyer, the pilot of Big Boss Man and September Fury. But so he's sitting there looking for a place to autograph this thing, and I'm like, here. And I just turned my back to him so he could put the photo on there and sign it. And he autographs the photo, but then I feel him autographing on my shirt. And I'm like, what in the? And I'm like, did he just autograph my Rare Bear shirt? And sure enough, he put Mike Brown, race 232. And I said, oh, no, I can't do this. Walk around with a Rare Bear team shirt on with a Mike Brown autograph for September Fury on there. And so we go walking over to, I went over to John Penny's pit and said, I walked over and I said, John, and I turned around and pointed to him. I said, I've been vandalized here. And he turns around and he goes, oh no, come over here. And so John comes over and signs on this shoulder, says John Penny, race 77, faster than, with an arrow that points over to race 232. So, and I walked around that and in that shirt the whole rest of the day. People kept stopping to get photos of it. Next thing you know, it's turning up on blogs, air race blogs and everything. So, but yeah, cool. That moment there and just the camaraderie between the pilots. But I think the one thing that I really enjoyed, and having said that my family, we're 4th generation air race fans now, and so back in 2008 I was sitting there and I was just leaning forward like this and watching, I think it was the Thunderbirds, it might have been 2009, and just kind of daydreaming about being a part of this show. And and sitting with my dad and my brothers. And now this last year, my dad and my brothers were out at home pylon with me for the T6 race. And so being able to get to that point and see and realize this dream. And, people ask me when they ask about my job, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not working. I get to be a part of this. I'm not, it's work, but I get to do it. It's a privilege to be a part of it. So
it's a privilege and a decision. This we always tell people, right? If you want to make something better, you want to be a part of something, you've got a dream, show up and be of service. I mean, you're of service, Chris. I mean, as we talked about, everybody who gets involved, and Terry, recognizing you there,
Yeah.
I mean, Terry's another guy. Be of service and do something instead of complaining, or maybe, why don't we do it a different way? But you mentioned that September family, and that's why I'm showing these racing photos as we talk, because we need to not forget the past. And there's some great racing that has gone on, and there's going to be great racing to come. There's going to be a difference. It's going to be a different venue and maybe some different things coming. But, the good old days are, kind of where we are, right? I mean, anything back, you and I, and we were, both in the military, and it was kind of crazy at times in the military. And now we look back at those as the good old days, right? Well, when you're involved in it, there's a lot of shit going down. I can say that, I guess. I'm not being edited here. We're not on public radio. But, and I'm a Marine, so I get away with using foul language. But, children don't watch this show, I'm sure. But, now looking back at these good old days, there was a lot of drama back then, a lot of hard work put in by the teams, a lot of challenges that were overcome. So people are asking, hey guys, what's going on? So we're going to be interviewing more racers. We want to hear stories. If reach out to Chris, reach out to anybody, reach out to me. If you got somebody that has some cool stories about the air racer, let's sit here and talk about it, because it's fun stuff. I mean, this is a fairly old video. It's just neat to watch some of the Unlimiteds and some of the some of the cool airplanes. Yeah, man. A lot of noise, and they're all noisy. That's the noisy part of the day. As opposed to the song of the Merlin engine, right? I mean, it's a whole different thing, right? You got the loud props of a T6 versus that song of the Merlins and the Unlimiteds going past. And of course, I'm partial to the jet class. So cool stuff out there.
So there's when we're out there in operations, we have a place in the middle of the ramp where we kind of hide away. It's outside of the crowd, but that gives us a central place to sit and monitor and watch and see how things are going. But it also gives us access out to all areas, so we can rush out to wherever we need. And we call that place the crow's nest. This last year, there have been a couple of times that I was sitting there in the crow's nest, and I just lean up against the front of my truck and just close my eyes and listen to the sounds and take it in. It's an amazing experience.
It is, and it's why we need the fans, right? We're here for the fans. I think, I mean, it's not about the racers. It's not about the airplanes. It's about all the hard work you do, all the hard work everybody at Rah does. It's for the fan. So part of that is showing up, right? Buy your tickets to the air show, because that generates momentum into 2025. I know we're coming up to some kind of announcement. Tony told me end of April. So we're still in April. It's not the end of April yet. So, and I don't suspect I'm going to know about it. I'm going to know about it after everybody else knows about it too. So, which is great. But we're down right now to 3 cities and 3 great cities, 3 great locations, right? I mean,
well, and it's not just the locations. It's also, it's invigorating new life. It's these new locations, they're excited. They're calling us and saying, hey, what can we do to get you there? And so knowing that we have cities that are excited to have us there, we've got new venues that are excited to have us there. I think it's going to be refreshing. Sure, it's going to be a change. It is. It's not going to be Reno, but Reno is not a possibility anymore. That's not our choice, but that's the reality of it. So we will continue on, and we'll build the same memories. We'll build the same races, and we'll keep building the event in a new location where there's a community that's excited for us to be there again. And we'll go out there and we'll move Section 3 to where Section 3 needs to be, and we'll take things with us, and we'll build a new home.
I actually would love to interview somebody from Section 3. That's a unique group of fans. You talk about that September family. I'd almost like to do some kind of wild, I'm not even sure how I would do it, some wild interview with Section 3 people just going nuts. Put bunch of people on the screen. But that's the consummate fan, right, of the air racing is the Section 3 group.
You should have told me. I would have worn my Section 3 shirt today.
I should have done that too. I have one as well. Very cool. Well, so as you had mentioned this family, and families sometimes argue amongst ourselves because we care, and I think so. When we hear a lot of fans wondering, scratching their head, grumbling, mumbling, it's not happening fast enough, it's because they do care. And I think that's what everybody's waiting for, is to get back racing again. I know I've talked to several race teams, and they're ready to be racing again. So that's, I hate to sound like a broken record, but making the Reno Air Show a success is the send off to the Reno market, right? It's not that nobody's leaving, nothing bad is, but just like a family, people grow up, mature, and change. And it's not despite the Reno market. The Reno market has been a fantastic market for the Reno Air races. So Absolutely. It's nothing negative, right? There's no hard feelings. And to look forward with that smile, to be able to look out and see airplanes flying along as low like that, everybody wants to see more airplanes, more cool stuff. There you go.
Sure.
Yeah,
you're talking about we're all waiting for that announcement. I'm one of those people too. I don't have any inside track on that. I'm not on the selection committee, so I'm also anxiously awaiting, because one of my tasks with the air races is preparing and writing the accreditation package and submitting that to the FAA and coordinating that. And so I've got a lot of work to come up, and it can't be done until we have our new location. Once we get the new location, then I'm going to instantly go into planning pylon racing seminar next year, and working on our accreditation to update our accreditations. So it's going to get pretty busy once we get the final word, and I'm kind of chomping at the bit to go get it.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. I'm a Gulfstream pilot, so I only have $50 to my name, but I was hoping I could have bribed you to find out where to do. But $50, that's all we got. That's all.
Well, go ahead and send it over, and I'll give you all the information I have.
Right. Dear sir. But no, you're absolutely right, because you're gonna. That's why somebody had asked me the other day. They go, well, why are we waiting until 2025? I said, because everything has got to be built. You just don't turn back on racing. So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. I mean, racing has not been shut down. You're still in active mode. I've not met anybody from rah-rah that's anything but absolutely positive moving forward.
Absolutely. Yes. And just to clarify on that, that's a very good point, Dave. Hold on, I think I just turned on a mode on my earbuds there. But it's a very good point, is we start planning and preparing for the next year's air races about 1 week after the air races ends. So it's this is a year-round preparation. It's not something where we sit down and plan and prepare for it in a week. It takes a year to do this. So rolling in, if we having our last race in 23 and then rolling into a new location in 24 would not have been feasible. Not at all. It takes a year to prepare it, which is one of the funny things that I kind of laughed about with some of these other locations saying, oh yeah, we're going to do an air race here. And I'm not going to mention any names, but they were out there saying they're going to do an air race. I'm like, okay, good luck with that. So
in a place where there's not even an airport, right? Is there?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I'm like, how are you going to do an air race? You don't have an airport. You have to get accreditation. You have so much to prepare for it, and you don't have an airport yet. It's, it takes a lot, and people don't understand that. People don't understand the time frame and how long and how much preparation it takes. The rules and the safety procedures and precautions that we go through out there, the engineering, the logistics. I'll tell you, Tony and Matt, who is our director of logistics, I do not envy those gentlemen in their jobs. That's running the logistics of an air show is nightmarish to be at the best. And those guys, trying to bring in a standard air show, for example, with the Blues and an air show performers, you need 60 barrels of smoke oil. That's a small number of aircraft right there. We're talking about 10, 12, 14 aircraft that we're looking at for smoke oil. Let's say 20 aircraft that we're looking to get smoke oil, fuel, petroleum, and all that. Try 155.
Yeah.
It's the logistics of moving that, having that many moving parts and trying to feed all of those aircraft and move them around, maintain them, park them. And you have some that can't park outside, some that have, they all have special requirements. So the logistics of actually putting on a race is daunting. And again, that leads me back to, we have an amazing team here. I can't emphasize that enough. I've never, hey, look on the screen. There's Big Boss Man. I was just talking about him.
There it is.
But, yeah. So, I have an amazing team that I work with. And when we have a problem, it's, if there's a ramp issue, I call up south, Jake, and I say, hey, Jake, can you do this? And he's like, absolutely, got it. And I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So our team that works out there, they deserve a round of applause, a big round of applause. And if you get the opportunity, if you run into some of the officials out there, remember, we're all volunteers. We're out there doing it because we love doing it. And there's a few days during the air races where I'll be there at 5:30 in the morning for first briefing, and I don't leave until 10:15 at night. So there's some long days out there, and all of our people are doing that, and it's because we love doing it.
That's a great thing you just mentioned, is giving a thank you to those people, even the people that are at the gate, that are standing there in the heat, and they're volunteers, the people that are parking the cars. Try not to give them the grief, right? Everybody wants to get in to see the show. Everybody wants to have a good time. We see this at air shows and air racing events. Say thank you, because sometimes they gotta, there was a little known story back. Remember when we needed to get the golf cart passes to come through the gate with our golf carts? Well, so I'll just tell this story because so I went out and I didn't have a pass on my electric crew vehicle getting out into the jet pits. So I went to Walmart and I got lettering, and I put official race vehicle on the windshield. And so every time I came through the gate and I got harassed to come through the gate, I yelled, "Look, can't you read? This is an official race vehicle." And I went through the gate. Please don't do that. So now we'll be banned from all future events for the thing. But we all have kind of fun, cool stories about racing. As we move forward here, up to the air show and forward, we're gonna bring people on board that are gonna kind of reminisce a little bit, talk about the race planes. And if any of my listeners, if you've got input into the teams, if you're a mechanic, we want to get some of the inside stories, right, Chris? I mean, talking about
absolutely.
What does it mean to wrench on a P-51? What does that look like? It's not just the pilots, right? But so any of you that are listening, if you've got input to the teams, we're making calls out there as well. But we're going to get into the weeds and start talking air racing because it ain't going anywhere. So we're just going to pretend that we didn't even have a blip. I mean, we've had down years in the past. It's just a year to prepare for the next biggest thing. Chris,
exactly.
what can the average person do? I always end the show with kind of, you know, my guest's input. What can people do to help to be a part of the solution rather than just a spectator? Is there anything you recommend?
You know, that's a great question. One, volunteering. This is every air show is ran on volunteers. You know, as we say in aviation, if you want to make $1 million, you start with 2. And so we need volunteers. There's always a need for volunteers. And just try to be, well, I'm going to give some more credit here, Dave, because the ladies up in the office, Melanie Wiley, she handles a lot. The Diane, Artie, and I'm going to miss a couple, but they deserve a ton of credit too, because they're the ones that are getting those angry phone calls. And I often joke that, you know, operations, we make everything happen, but Melanie's the one who keeps the air show going. So, and because it's anything we need, we're like, hey, Mel, can you get this? And she's got us. So,
Yeah.
But, you know, try to be patient with people. Understand that right now people can't. When you call the office and want more info on the air show, it's in the planning stages right now. There's a lot of questions that we can't answer, but we can tell you we're going to give you a quality product. We're going to give you a quality air show, but be patient with people while we put this together, because we're not just building an air show with 2 major jet teams. We're also working on the logistics of moving to a new location. So there's a lot on our plate. So just try to be patient and, you know, I think that's the big thing. Buy tickets and come out and see the show. Come out and enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, how simple is that, right? I mean, you know, have the confidence. These air show teams that are coming, they've got the confidence in what you're doing. That's why they're making the investment to select the Reno Air Show to come on out and do this. So have the confidence in the team. Have the confidence in Chris and his team and Tony and everybody involved, Bobby and everybody doing what they do. Have that confidence. I don't think Rah-Rah's let this market down for 60 years, right? Yeah, some years are better than others, but to your point,
absolutely.
Have that confidence to know and ease the hell up, right? It's going to be a great time. Families argue, but in the end, we love everybody for what they're doing. I'm certainly grateful, you know, Chris, for you come on my show. And, you know, I mean, stay in touch with us, of course. If you ever want to jump on and add something, or if you need to correct me, you know, I guess Army guys can correct Marines once in a while.
Well, what's this about the speed limits?
No.
Nope.
I know nothing.
No.
I know. Yeah. So don't take Dave Costa I don't know anything, but I will give you the information that I think I know in a confident manner, and I will look really confident when I give you information. But to your point, that's a great point. Go to the airrace.org website, go to the air show website. That's where the most up-to-date information is. And if you reach out to me, if you bought your ticket for the Reno Air Show, and you send me an email to my email, which is just renegadeaviator@gmail.com, I'm going to send you a free sticker, because why not? I'll even mail it to you for free. We got a brand new sticker. Let me show it to you here before I sign off. But there you go. There's my email address. There's our new sticker. We're one of the performers this year at the air show. Go ahead and send me an email and just say, hey, Marine, send me my damn sticker you promised. I'll even pay for the stamp because I'm a hell of a guy.
You're pretty much my neighbor. I'll take you out to lunch if I can have one of those stickers.
Oh,
I want one for my truck.
Yeah, you can. I got them for you. Yeah, stop on by the hangar. And we're going to be doing some flying in the next couple of weeks. So any noise complaints, don't be the guy calling the airport that I'm making noise out there.
You feel free to make all the noise complaints you want, because that's no longer my circus.
Perfect. All right, man. Well, Chris,
thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You know, it's always a pleasure, man. And again, if I can do anything to be a service, always reach out to me. And
absolutely,
thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate that too. And again, kudos to the team out there. They're doing great, and good job on keeping promoting this and keeping the Air Show family informed.
Right on, man. All right, brother. Keep your head down.
I sure will. All right.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
All right. See ya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is David Costa. I am the Renegade Aviator. See ya.